We have been literally taking this whole too much tech thing quite seriously recently, so let's go ahead and continue that. So we got a ton of Model D minuses right here, and I figured that since we have this rare opportunity where I have this much of one product, and hopefully I never have this many samples again. These aren't all samples actually. Thanks to Glorious, they did send out two of them. They sent out a black one and a white Model D minus, and then I actually bought two of them like when the pre-orders first went live. So thanks to them for sending it out, and yeah, pretty much all I have to say about that. I'm not obligated to say anything in this video, blah blah blah, this, that, and the third. Anyways, I bought these two, but before I make this video, I want to go back in time for a second, because the Model D video that I put out was before I used the XM1. Actually, like, the XM1 showed up, I want to say like a day or so before I like filmed and edited that video, but I didn't pull it out of the box, and I wish I had, because originally after I used the Model D, I was gonna main that mouse. Then I laid my hands on the XM1. I was like, I'm gonna main this mouse, and I kind of don't really feel the same way as I did in that first Model D video. And like, the more I used the XM1, the more issues started to appear with the original Model D, and that's basically why after that video I never used the mouse again. So yeah, the Model D is good, but it has some faults, and that's what we're going to talk about in this video, because I feel like most of those continue over to the D minus, which is kind of disappointing, because I thought I was going to main this mouse, but I don't know. But I think that's probably partially because I already found my main, so I'm just looking to see, like, you know, what's better. But ultimately I want to help you find your perfect mouse, so maybe this is something that could work for you, and we'll get into that. But later on in the video, I'm going to open actually all four of these, and we're going to quality control all four of them, because why not? We have them, so we might as well, right? See if one breaks. But for now, let's go ahead and put those away. So let's talk about the Model D minus. This is the white version. They finally do have the glossy versions available for sale as well, so you can buy the glossy version. It is still a thing. But the white one and the black one and the matte finish both weigh 61 grams, as they say on the box. So let's go ahead and put it on the scale and see how much it weighs. So this one is coming in at 63.5 grams for the white one. Since we got the black one, might as well weigh this one as well. 61.6. Was it the angle that I put it at? I'm not sure. Let's see here, 62.5. Maybe it was the amount of the mouse that I put on there. Maybe if, I'm pretty sure that some of the cable is included in there. I did pull like the feet off of both of these, but let's just say it's coming in somewhere between 61 and 63 grams. And 60 grams for a lightweight mouse is not bad. Like, that is comfortably what I would call an ultralight mouse. Let's go ahead and talk about the design of the Model D, because this is kind of where I had some issues with the first Model D after I was using said other mouse. But basically I just feel like this right side is flared out and up just a little bit too much. So like on my hand, it makes it kind of hard to get like a good grip on it. Like, cause right here, I feel like this whole side of my hand doesn't really know what to do, because it's just a very weird way to hold this. So I don't know, maybe this is just because I have bigger hands, and like, you kind of have to palm grip this mouse, but even when you grab it with your palm, your fingers, you don't really know where to put them. So I don't know, it's really weird, because I feel like this mouse should be more so designed for like a claw-ish type grip, but this whole right side, it's kind of hard to find a place to put my fingers. At least I can play well with this mouse. That's not really the issue. I can play well with just about any mouse, but it's all about preference at the end of the day. So I just wish that with this first one, I wish that this side right here was quite a bit lower and a little bit more sloped, so that when I grab it right here, I feel like the back of my hand would have a little bit less support right here. But personally, I do wish that the hump was moved a little bit further back too, but I feel like that's an entirely different design. So not really that big of a deal, but just this right side, I'm not the biggest fan of. Now going to the left side of the mouse with these mouse buttons, I actually find that I have the same issue with the full-size Model D, that these side buttons, they feel just a little bit too far back. So for example, I have the DeathAdder V2 Mini, and very similar shape. Actually, it's got the same like size hump at the top, so it is still very large. But this right side, I think, is just a little bit better on the Death Adder V2 Mini. Like, this is flared in just enough where it's still comfortable for my hand. But most importantly, why I think I like this one a little bit better is because these two side buttons are pushed up just a little bit more. And I think that's what I was expecting with the D-, and I was kind of disappointed when I pulled it out of the box and that wasn't the case. So if we look at them side by side, even though the Death Adder is a little bit of a shorter mouse, it feels like the side buttons are pushed up just a bit more, and that makes a huge difference, because with this one, I feel like I'm reaching back to hit the back side button, where this one, I feel like I'm reaching a little bit more up and I can hit it comfortably without having to move my thumb quite a bit. So yeah, there's just a couple ergonomic differences, and the reason why I mention it is because since this is supposed to be like the smaller ergo mice, it should be the most comfortable. But anyways, the shape doesn't really work that well for me personally after I've tried a few other mice, and since like I think January or early February when I previously reviewed the Model D. So a lot of things have changed, even for me, even like my preferences have changed. Now, honestly speaking, what I'll say, design aside, now we're just gonna talk about like other things in the mouse, like the sensor and paracord and all that good stuff. RGB is the same as all the other Glorious mice. So download the Glorious software. Doesn't really have to stay running at all, so you can download it, set your preferences, and then close it. You never really have to open it ever again. But I don't know if they like swapped out an Ascended Cable V3 on us or something, because this one feels much more flexible than it used to. Unfortunately, I don't have my old Model D because I ended up giving it away, and then my Model O is modded and has a Dream cable paracord on it. Then my Model O- is also modded and has a W paracord on it. So I don't have another old Glorious cable to compare to, but this paracord actually feels much better than what used to be. Of course, first run Model O's, this is way better. Second run Model O and Model O-, when they fixed the Ascended Cable the first time, those, it looked better, but it was too stiff and it could not do this. So I don't know what Glorious did. Maybe they snuck the Ascended Cable V3 on us, but this is way better. Way better. So now I don't really feel the need like I have to mod or paracord this mouse with a better one, because the stock cable is actually good enough to game with comfortably without having to worry about like moving and bumping into the cable while you're playing and stuff like that. It's actually pretty decent. So good job on that improvement that they didn't really mention. That is huge. It feels different. The old mouses, the cable was kind of stiff. This is much better. This time, I didn't put on those extra bigger mouse feet. I think maybe that slowed it down or something like that on the Model D, but I didn't really mind it. But just playing with these mouse feet on this Odin mouse pad, I'm good. I don't really need anything else. And the mouse feet on the G Skates are very good. You don't have to swap them out. If you do swap them out, really the only upgrades are the Tiger Arc 1 or 2s. That's probably the only real upgrade that I can say you could do better than the G Skates. Other than that, core pads or something like that, I wouldn't even bother swapping them out because you'll barely tell the difference. You know what? I totally forgot. I got those the Glorious ceramic skates. I put them on my O-, and they were just kind of okay. They actually felt slower. And is noticeably heavier, but not like a ton. So it's not really that big of a deal. I don't know. I don't really see much value in them, so maybe I would pass on those. That was my quick review on the Glorious G Floats. Back to this mouse. The sensor is fine. I don't even know what sensor it is, to be honest. Like, I barely even looked, but it works just fine. I played perfectly with it. No big deal. I'm not really gonna get into the nitty gritty of like differences between sensor performance and liftoff distance and stuff like that. It feels exactly the same as playing with the Model O, Model O-, Model D, just a smaller shape. The clicks on the Model D- compared to the original Model O, honestly, I can barely tell the difference. Like, these are a little bit, I will say, lower pitched. The Model O clicks are a little bit higher pitched, but yeah, they're still the Omron, I think either 20, 30, 50 mil, something like that, Omron mouse switches, and they sound pretty similar. The pre-travel and post-travel is not bad. Like post-travel, if you press it all the way down and you're not really hair triggering your mouse, it's not really that noticeable. Like it just feels normal. It doesn't feel like anything out of the ordinary, even worth mentioning, to be honest. All right, so let's talk about durability. So one thing I will say, I've had a lot of Glorious products and none of them have broken on me ever. So most of the time when I'm hearing about stuff, I'm like, really? Like, how did that happen? But maybe I just always got the good copies or whatever, and my luck has been pretty good. This, I think, is gonna be a good time to check out all these Model D minuses and really see like how good the quality control is, because I have not had a QC issue just yet. So I don't know, first time for everything. Let's hope that today is not the first time. So two of them, like the black one and is there one in here? And the white one I already have out of the box because I've been using those like for my testing. And there's two more in there that we're gonna unbox. So let's test this black one. Okay, even with a ton of force, the black one survived. Black mice matter, okay, equality. I usually order like the white Glorious mice, even though the first one I ordered was black. The white one for mice equality, okay. Let's check this one out. This is the one I've been using predominantly. Let's check the black one again. Okay, so I mean, obviously if you press really hard on the sensor, you will get a ton of creaking. But considering the fact that there's a bunch of honeycomb holes essentially right here, I don't recommend that. And I don't see any reason why anyone would play like that. Like nobody picks up their mouse, turns it around and presses the sensor back into the shell of the mouse toward the PCB. Like nobody does that. So I don't really think that's a realistic method to check. So yeah, anyways, let's keep going. Okay, so this copy is rock solid as well. All right, so copy number 1 and 2 that I've been testing are both rock solid, with the exception of like pressing down into the sensor. But I mean, honestly speaking, who does that? I never do that on a mouse. Like if you guys do that, you're just weird. So here is a fresh Model D minus. You know, might as well go ahead and take a look at what else comes in the box. So you got like, I don't know, this so your mouse doesn't expire. This little silica gel, additional G-skates, couple stickers, couple probably user manuals and advertisements and all that good stuff. So basic box, nothing really too crazy, I would say. Let's test this one real quick. So on this one, let me see if the camera picks it up. I'm getting just a little bit more motion than I was previously. So like when I press this one, I'm getting a little bit of separation right here from the bottom to the top. Let's check this one again. On this one, there's a little bit, but not much. I don't know. But it didn't just burst wide open. And I mean, that's an excessive amount of force. So yeah, I would say I would give this one a pass too. Like this is normal. This is absolutely normal. All right, on to the next. Oh, I might as well put it back in the case. I'm not gonna use this one. Ooh. All right. Okay, nothing rattling. I heard a little snap, but maybe it snapped into place if I had to guess. But I don't hear any rattling, so that's good. No separation on the side. I didn't pop it out of place either, which is good. Okay. Yeah. So this one, I'll give it a pass as well. Sorry guys, there you have it. I just tested 4 different Model D- samples. Like I said, 2 of them were sent out to me by Glorious. The first white and black one that I've been using during testing, and then the other 2 white ones that I bought as well. Those are also pretty much rock solid. So obviously, like I said, on the bottom of the mouse, this is all honeycombs, and obviously this isn't practical to press the center of your mouse. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Nobody would do that. So I'm gonna give that a pass because that's not a realistic use case. Now, squeezing the sides and stuff like that, I don't know about you guys, I don't really grip my mice that hard, but none of them fell apart either when I did it. So I give them a pass. They're all rock solid in my opinion. So I have no reason to stand up for Glorious. They're a good company. I've never gotten anything from them that has broken. I've gotten like maybe something that I didn't particularly like I think the O- is a little bit too short, and this is a little bit too big in terms of like the middle of the height. I just don't prefer it. It's not a preference of mine. I would rather use something that is a little bit slimmer in the middle of the mouse and a little bit bigger in the back of the mouse. But otherwise, the D-, if you like the Zowie, whatever other mouse is very similar to this one, and you want something that's lighter weight, has PTFE feet, and has a better cable than a Zowie mouse, because that's part of the reason why I personally won't buy one, then I would get this all day if you like that shape, or if you just want to try that shape. And for 50 bucks plus, you know, $7-8 for shipping, so about $60 for a matte copy, or maybe $70 for a glossy copy. Really not bad for an ultra lightweight mouse that has a really big ergo shape. Next time around, maybe on another one of Glorious's models, they will make something that is a little bit slimmer in the middle of the mouse and a little bit bigger in the back of the mouse. So I hope that that's something that they're working on. Oh, and move the side buttons up just a little bit, please, for the love of God. Move them up just a bit, like 3 millimeters. That's what I need, 3 millimeters. Move both side buttons up. Now, what if Glorious made a mouse with a similar shape to the Endgame Gear XM1? I mean, that could be good. That we could do that. I'm just tossing ideas out there. You don't have to take them. It's probably a good idea if you do. But all right, you guys, that is going to be it for this video. If you guys enjoyed, be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you are new to the channel. Again, thanks to Glorious for sending out those couple mice, and thanks to me for buying the other 2 so we could do this. Probably the only time I'll ever have this many on hand at once, just to test the quality control, and they pretty much all passed. So you decide if you want to buy one from here. It'll be linked in the description below if you're interested. If you want to know any more, feel free to drop into my Discord channel as well, where we talk about stuff all the time. I actually have a giveaway of the Model D- running right now, so you can win one of these mice, a white version. And yeah, I think that ends in like a week or something, so you'll probably want to go check it out pretty quick. That's all I got for you guys. Don't forget to drop a like, subscribe if you're new, and I will catch you in the next video.